All right. Looks like we've got a big one on our hands today.
Wolves versus Aston Villa.
You guys really went all out sending us all this analysis for this match.
Definitely seems like someone's got some skin in the game.
Maybe a friendly wager, or some crucial fantasy football decisions riding on this.
Either way, let's dive into these stats and see if we can make sense of it all.
First things first.
Wolves' defense.
Oof, 52 goals conceded already this season.
Their worst per-game average since, get this, the 1932-33 season.
Wow, almost a century ago.
That's not a record you want to be breaking, that's for sure.
So we're talking historically bad defense here.
But hold on a second.
What's that? Some glimmer of hope for Wolves fans.
Well, not quite a glimmer, but we have to consider the XGA.
Right, XGA. For those who aren't familiar, that's expected goals against.
Basically a way to measure the quality of chances a team is giving up.
So even if a team is unlucky and concedes a few fluky goals, their XGA might still be low.
Meaning their defense isn't actually that bad.
But what about Wolves? What's their XGA saying?
Not great, unfortunately.
So it's not just bad luck then.
It seems like their defense is genuinely struggling.
Even facing a third consecutive home loss without scoring.
That's gotta be weighing on their minds.
Speaking of scoring.
Let's look at Villa's attack.
Fresh off that big Champions League win.
High on confidence for sure.
But how do they usually perform after European games?
That's where things get interesting. They've only won 1 out of their last 7 matches after European games.
Really? So maybe that Champions League win isn't such a good omen after all.
It's that post-European fatigue you see sometimes.
Yeah, I've definitely seen teams struggle to maintain their form when juggling multiple competitions.
Absolutely. 1 minute you're battling it out in Europe, the next you're facing a relegation-threatened team, and just can't seem to get going.
It's like they left their A game on the plane.
Exactly.
So even if Villa's attack is potent, we have to factor in this inconsistency.
It could be their Achilles heel.
All right, but what about when these two teams face off directly? What does their head-to-head history tell us?
Now that's where things get a little more complicated.
Oh, how so?
Under Emery, Villa have been dominant against bottom 3 teams.
So that bodes well for them.
Yeah, on paper, yes. But there's a twist.
I knew there had to be.
They haven't had the best luck at Molineux.
Wolves' home ground.
Only 1 win in their last 5 visits.
Interesting. So even with Wolves struggling this season, their home advantage could be a major factor.
It's definitely something to keep an eye on.
Now, I know we can't just talk about teams as a whole. What about individual players?
Of course, Matheus Cunha for Wolves, he scored the opening goal in the reverse fixture.
Right, so he knows how to find the back of the net against Villa.
Absolutely.
And for Villa.
All eyes will be on Morgan Rogers.
Oh yeah, the Champions League hat-trick hero.
2 goals in the first 5 minutes of a UCL match.
That's incredible, but can he replicate that form in the Premier League?
That's the million-dollar question. The Premier League is a different beast.
More physical.
More physical, more intense, a real grind week in, week out.
So it'll be interesting to see if he can maintain that level of performance.
For sure. But you can't deny that hat-trick must have done wonders for his confidence.
The confidence can be a huge factor in football.
Definitely.
Okay, so let's recap here. Wolves with a leaky defense, but a potentially potent home advantage.
And Villa riding high after that Champions League win, but maybe a bit fatigued and with a shaky record at Molineux.
So many factors to consider. What are your gut instincts telling you?
Tough one to call.
I imagine so.
You know, Wolves are going to be desperate to turn things around at home.
And that crowd can be electric.
But Villa have the attacking firepower and that momentum from Europe.
It really does feel like this one could go either way.
I wouldn't be surprised if it ended in a draw, honestly.
A draw, huh?
Yeah, I think both teams will be cautious, not wanting to give anything away.
Well, we've gone through the stats, the form, the head-to-head.
Even looked at some key player matchups.
But as any football fan knows, sometimes it's those intangibles that really make the difference.
Absolutely. The passion of the fans, the decisions of the manager.
Even the weather can play a part.
You never know what's going to happen on match day.
So what do you think?
Will Wolves' home crowd be enough to push them over the line?
Or will Villa's Champions League confidence see them through?
Only time will tell.
But one thing's for sure, this is going to be a match you don't want to miss.
Make sure to tune in.
And let us know your predictions in the comments.
We'd love to hear your thoughts.
All right, that's all the time we have for today.
Enjoy the match, everyone.
And may the best team win.
See you next time.
Bye for now.